Hey guys, this episode of Healthcare Conversations is going to be amazing because we got the opportunity to interview the amazing Dr. Aviseka Acharya, who is a gravitational biologist and is working on some absolutely amazing projects across India and Germany. His sheer knowledge about the field blew us away, and in this episode, we discuss so much about space medicine, artificial intelligence, 3D technology, AR, VR, and even some hypothetical scenarios. It was a fun episode filled with knowledge that you should definitely know about. So let's get right into it.
Today we are in conversation with Mr. Aviseka Acharya, and he is a gravitational biologist, and he also his expertise is basically in space medicine, which is something very intriguing. When I first saw space biology, I was like, okay, this is something very interesting. And then I heard him speak on Clubhouse, and we were a part of a lot of rooms wherein he was talking, and I was just so mesmerized just to listen to his views about the different up and coming technologies, as well as different kinds of trends that might happen in the healthcare sector moving into the future. And I was like, we have to have him on the show because this is a place where we try to create awareness about the future of healthcare and how doctors should proceed. The upcoming generation of doctors should proceed with their career goals, and what essential things that they'll have to be prepared with to sustain in a world which will be driven by technology. So welcome, sir. We are so glad that we could have you here today with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Amazing. So to begin with, I would like ask you straight up question about space, because it's so intriguing. So you've been in the space medicine segment for a long time. So what is happening in the industry right now? And on a lighter note, how far are we from sending humans into space using cryo sleep and all these different tech that we normally see in sci-fi movies? So yeah.
Uh-huh. No, I will be just giving a short intro about myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Abhishek, and by study I completed my master's in pharmacy from Utkal University. Then I was associated with a couple of pharma R&Ds in India, and also some FMCG R&Ds. So I was there working as a research scientist, and then I left India because I got this project in Cologne in Germany. And this project was from German Aerospace Center and from European Space Agency, which is to decipher the role of gravity, how it impacts the development, early stage development. So since then, almost from beginning of 2015, or mid of 2015, I'm engaged in this project. Of course, my study, my expertise in R&D sector was in pharma, but now we are using for the gravity. So what basically is we see is the gravity is, excuse me for that noise, because I just happens to be. So what happens in the gravity is something, or the current scenario what we are seeing is our human body is actually formed. Every living object which is in Earth is affected by gravity, and that's to cope that gravity. We evolved. Now the question comes, why we study what happens in 0G or when there is in gravity? Because as a human and our curiosity, we explore the space, and we are exploring how the life forms and what the possibilities of life or any other planet is existence. And also we observe continuously the Earth from the space. To do that, we need not only the instruments, we need the humans to be in the space to observe this one. So those who are astronauts or cosmonauts, they go and they spend time. Now, the moment they leave the Earth orbit, currently they are in the low Earth orbit, which is we call LEO. And there is a space station, probably and it continuously rotates around the Earth. And from there, they observe and do a lot of science from there. Now, when they go there, they experience some kind of G which is called micro G. Like you cannot really escape the gravitational force, but what we are experiencing on Earth is very, very nominal when we go to space. For example, in the space station. Now, as I said from the beginning, that every living object here or organism here, they evolved to cope the gravity, which we call 9.8 meters per second square.
Yeah.
Now, the moment we lift that one, so what will happen? The first thing is it will impact your physical self. Now, since it's a physical force, so what happens when they go to space? When they stay there, because there is no gravity, they stay there. During their stay, they experience a lot of health hazards. For example, because of the body fluid shift, because they continuously fly, and they to move themselves, they need less energy. For example, if I'm walking here, I'm carrying my body, the weight. When that weight is suddenly gone, my legs are not feeling that tension. So what happens? The limb bones, they become thin, the muscle loose because the muscle is of no use. So that's the kind of, if you see, if there is no use of muscle, then they will become thin. And that's exactly also happened for the bone. So this type of complications for different organ system, brain, eye, fluid shift also impact your immune system, skin hydration, a lot of things they impact. Now, our role is to study how can we cope to that, so that the astronauts, those who are going, they can live a healthy life. Then only they can perform good science.
Yeah.
So doing that also, when NASA, the big players in this domain, when they plan for the bigger missions, that time it's not only now the astronauts, they're going 3 months, which is 180 days. In 180 days, they experience such challenges. Also, there are a lot of countermeasures of like decades of research brought those things of countermeasures, how they can cope. But still, there are a lot of science every day we do for a better life. At the same time, we also try to understand when there is no gravity, how the life exists, how the behavior changes of that life, or the physiology changes. So the first aspect I said, which is very crucial, that we have to understand what's the problem happening to the people who are going. Second, to understand the basic biology, so that we can understand the life in different planets. And the third thing, which is also by doing science in the space, we can help the pharmaceuticals here by modeling diseases, which is not happening here. Probably when you do such harsh environment, you experience very faster kind of disease, which you can help the pharmaceuticals here by disease modeling and understanding how you can bring the cure very fast. Now, for the last and funny question which you asked about the cryo sleep, I will say, it's been tried in UK, I think in 2019, like they attempted. That's what I remember from the news, I guess. But so far in space, it's been a kind of approach where scientists are exploring, but I don't think so far there is any success where you can cryo freeze entire body and send, and then you can ask for the wake up. Right now, those who are planned to go for such missions, they have to go with the way we travel, normal travel. Yeah.
Amazing. So that's still a distant reality if we want to see the sci-fi movies for real. So might take another 1,500 years maybe.
Sci-fi movie always exaggerate things which doesn't
true.
follow or fall in many sciences.
Absolutely. So an interesting observation that we made at Healthcare when we were working towards and we were looking into industries was that a lot of companies are building AI tools to solve existing issues in the healthcare segment. So what is that, what are those some problems which, if automated through AI tools, do you think will be the best for the current situation?
Of course, I think the pandemic and the drugs which came out from for the pandemic, they are like very much backed with AI.
Mm.
Many drugs which pre-existed, or there are big libraries by understanding their structure, by understanding their other functions they derive to be treated as COVID-19 drugs. They apply it, and that's how AI helped to fight condom for this kind of emergency situations. That's one thing, but AI can actually work to reduce the cost of the healthcare system, which is I think healthcare is prime need of any living human being. And the AI can actually, when we see the country like India, Africa, or the developing countries, or the countries where the economy is a bit shaky, we can say that how we can provide better healthcare by not reinventing the entire procedure of drug development, rather than using some artificial intelligence and the pre-existed drug. Can we repurpose them?
True. Yeah.
That's one way. Also for the gadgeting, for the diagnosis, for like I have a startup which is in India. It's not really formulated so well because I am here associated with university, but we have friends which are doing constantly on the segment of rural Odisha, how we can address their problem. So we currently doing a AI-based algorithm for the detection of anemia by simple your eye picture.
Okay.
So that you can use your simple mobile and take a picture of your eye, and then to see the redness, the color that we have to fit in to fitting the algorithm, that the existed data, so that you can able to see that whether this person is going to be anemic or not. Now, this is one approach which can actually, reduce a lot of investment which is happening in India, that you cannot set up a lot of good testing center. Probably, maybe there is reachability is an issue. So AI is helping in many ways, from drug development to diagnosis to education in healthcare sector as well.
Yeah.
So I am very optimistic. Me myself also using AI. My team, they are building tools. Also, we built a tool based on AI, which is for diagnostics of COVID-19. When you do a COVID-19 test, there is a color detection happens, and that color we have already fed into the machine that can easily detect. So this is also in the process of development. So we are pretty much hopeful that AI can really help to fasten and make more accurate on the healthcare segment. Yes.
True. Even back at the team at Healthcare, we also believe that AI is one tool. If used in a proper way, if used efficiently, it could help us decrease the cost that patients have to bear for healthcare in general, and the amount of time that things take. Both of these things can be the first grade help that it could give as a tool. So very rightly said, as you also mentioned, that making healthcare economic is something which
we can. Yes. Yeah.
Amazing. So while we talk about AI, there's another tech which has boomed very currently, which is the blockchain system. So we've seen, like, when I was talking to a person in Bangalore, I guess he was working on a AI project of his own, in which he's also in turn using the blockchain to create something around the healthcare investments that happen through companies, and through the funds that we buy for the medical insurances and all of those things. So what possibilities do you think that blockchain can bring into healthcare as a very booming industry that it has become recently? So yeah.
Yes, we approached with one because as we started, we had a couple of plans. We did formulate and filter out, and we made 5 or 6 plans very robust. One of them was like AI, and another it's COVID-19. We already released a couple of products as smart dustbin and air purifier. And one of our product which we already asked for the approval to government of Odisha is AI-based healthcare system. Everything now and then become digitalized.
Yeah.
It's because everybody is becoming available to internet and gadgets, so things becoming digitalized. Now the question when it comes to healthcare, it needs a pretty much secure network. When we want to build a secure network and decentralize it, because that cannot be infringed easily. So what we demonstrated or sent to the approval to different authorities are like, since the healthcare becoming digital for the rural India, they can have this application. What we had, this is for the healthcare. So the data can be generated in different small blocks. Like for example, patient can have the data, the hospital, then the different division of the hospital, for example, eye or for pediatrics, wherever they want to go. And then that also we connected to pharmacy and diagnostic centers. So now we made a secure network with creating, wherever the person goes, it leaves the copy of the footprint on its own. So it makes the healthcare completely secure, that nobody can actually tamper your data, because you will always have a signature copy of your own with you, or at the point. So if there is anything change to be done, it should be done in the multiple ports. So then only that system can be broke down. So we already said this just to maintain the individual data secure. Why this is important is, again, because now the personalized medicine, which is now coming to the market, now understanding your own health. We have to design your drug or study you, and then we diagnose your need, and then we provide your drug, what is best for you. That the personalized medicine also, when it comes, it needs also more secure data, because we thoroughly understand your physiology. At that point, your healthcare system need to be concentrated on you. And this is how it also reduces the centralized facility load, where a lot of data cannot be stored at one point, because you see that everybody has. So we have to decentralize. At the same time, we can secure. So nowadays, cell therapy, gene therapy, personalized medicine, a lot of things are coming up, and people are also getting access to a lot of healthcare, digitalizing their healthcare. So this is why we need to. You must be known that Amazon is planning to sell pharmacy, like the drugs. So now you understand, if you are procuring something, so that track record, if it is concentrated to your healthcare app, it can provide better, understanding of what medicine you took, when, from where, and that can be easily trackable. Now the only thing which we see as a challenge is, because we are decentralizing, there are a lot of energy probably we consume. So that's one challenge we all need. And at the second time, we need for the establishment, we are also looking for everybody's understanding, because currently many people are not so much aware of blockchain as such. They always drive this blockchain concept to this the money, which is Bitcoin or Ethereum, this cryptocurrency. They drive this knowledge to that domain. So the education, I think it's better to bring that education first and then implement. Then it will be
amazing. Yeah, I love the way how you turned, like, you guys are creating AI-based platforms. So for that also we need nodes where we could connect these nodes, where everyone needs the data, but it does not need to be at one place, which makes it easier to decrease the load on central data, centralized data offices, as well as
most of the thing you see in the pandemic, you see everybody preferred to be tested like their own, like home
the self-testing kits.
At the same time, we need the data from you. So when you test, that digital record we want to maintain, and the same record should go to the central facilities to be maintained, and also to the authority who are approved for the test. So these things can be very nicely maintained through a blockchain network. And this cannot be really in a normal, when you create some networkings in normal language, it's very difficult to, by any point it can breach or hang it. But I think in such kind of secure network we can build.
Security is one big plus point over here. Amazing. While you were talking about limitations, so during the pandemic, we saw drones were flying above the city of Hyderabad, and it was detecting COVID patients across the it was taking a number of how many COVID patients might be there by scanning for body temperature. We also saw a doctor was sitting in California. A doctor was sitting in London and was performing a surgery on a banana in California using 5G's low latency network. We also saw how Mitra robots became very famous in India after a prime minister made them available in almost all hospitals to kind of serve the patients as a way to connect with their loved ones and everything when they were having the COVID like symptoms and they were submitted inside the hospitals. So amongst all of these technologies, a lot of tech can make its way into healthcare. That's okay, but why? Like, what are some limitations? Why is it so slow in developing countries? What are the basic limitations? Like we already talked about data being one of them.
You must know that you spoke about Hyderabad.
Yeah.
My company did a drone ambulance fly in Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
We demonstrated that we have capabilities to carry drugs, medicines, vaccines.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yes.
So the question is, the team actually formulated that drone, and they break down a 8 lakhs or 7 lakh drone, which cost outside the market to do such work. They break it down to 1.7 lakhs, which is tremendously fit to the economy of Odisha. Yeah. The question is, it is the knowledge is there, material is there, but I think what I miss or what I really want, that some leadership or some kind of visionary person who is in the power or policy making should identify immediately those things and pick it. Because for me, Odisha is like, I am from Odisha, and I am very kind of I really want Odisha to be smart in all these kind of technologies, and it's not so difficult. I think people are there who want to help Odisha in a lot of different way, because I see Odisha is challenged with not only climate but also with economy and mass migration, education, and a whole lot of things. So if any technology has to be implemented anywhere, it is Odisha, not in Delhi, not in Mumbai, not, because we see where there is already resource and things are available, we are dumping more things. Like there is a saying that oily heads need have more oils. So that doesn't work. So Odisha needs a lot of technology, and at least in healthcare, we try to cover as much as advanced things to be implemented. We try to show them, demonstrated them. We did it. We are waiting for their understanding, like these are the important things in healthcare sector and they should run it. And we are not losing patients, but I think slowly they are gripping, and I hope soon in coming days they will approve a couple of ideas, and they will where we can easily so that Odisha has a lot of potency to transform its healthcare sector.
Proactive and visionary leadership is what we need, actually. The other things we already have. True that. Indians are changing, the world. It's high time that we could change our own country for the better as well. Talking about technology, another very interesting technology that has come up, especially in our pharma sector, is 3D printing. So we see 3D printing being used in drug manufacturing and a lot of things. Even in prosthetics, it's being used recently. So it's a whole different kind of technology. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yes, we wanted to convert one 3D printer to bioprinting. What you are talking about mostly. I will give you a couple of examples how 3D printing is helping in healthcare sector. For example, we used to get MRI photos or videos. Now, if I convert those videos, 3D videos, into a real diagram of my hand, so I can easily see which part looks like how. So, for example, here there are a lot of complex bones are here in my palm. So sometimes if it is break, when the doctor do the operation, they really do not know which bone have to place where, because the human, they can make an error. But when I have the image of this one 3D printed, and then I printed again that what changes happen after the break. For example, there is a car crossed on my hand, and there is all the bones are displaced. But I have a hand where all the bones are arranged properly, and I have a hand where all the bones are disarranged. So I can easily see that 3D printing, and I can do the operation. I'm talking about the very critical bone fractures, which happens. And by doing this 3D printing imaging, we can actually print what is the change happened and what was actually before, so that we can correct properly. That is one thing is really helping in many hospitals, at least in Uniclinic, they are trying this. There is a big 3D printer which is they're doing. This is one thing which you observe and you do. And second thing is printing of different biomaterials. Like science is moving to a phase where we are looking to print the organ and create the mass and of any kind of organism. So that's where also it is helping. Though it is the reality, we are a bit far, but at least in Israel, they demonstrated that they can easily print an organ by decellularizing and putting the cells. However, there are challenges. But I'm sure that this will help in lot of ways. And printing the prosthetics, they becoming like now very normal. But what the advanced thing we are seeing, what are the advanced thing we are seeing as creating entire organ with different mixing of cells. It's not just one cell, variety of cells, because a organ have lot things which it needs lot of, like it needs blood vessel, it needs neurons, it needs different kind of helper cells. So you need to mix the properly and print it. And this is some kind of advancement is going on in the 3D printer segment. And one commercial application, what is happening is in 3D printing, you see this burger, which is artificial meat, lab grown meat. They've been printed by using So I'm very much Odisha doesn't have it now, but we are in touch with different authorities where we are hopeful that we can establish some 3D printing, bioprinting.
Amazing. I can like literally visualize how big an opportunity can come up for Odisha with all the advancements that you guys are making.
Yes, I think that's the goal. And it's not only also we have a idea of decentralizing the entire research, not only holding up to Bhubaneswar and Cuttack or some big cities, but taking them to rural, where when we empower the root, the stems, the leaves, the branches become strong. So the roots, if we understand, for us, Odisha, the roots is always in the village. So we have to find out the root where to empower, and then we can channelize all the healthcare advancement in the cities.
Also, if we have data from the rural segment, it will also help us in creating much more efficient machine learning models, so that we can actually not have the bias that normally ML models have, because they are trained on a certain segment of the population.
Yes.
So true. Amazing. So with this speed that we are moving right now, using technology into biology, and all these, like you are working in gravitational biology and all these different segments, how likely is it to like discover a whole new stream of biology? I was listening to this like one conversation that was happening, I guess yesterday or day before yesterday in Clubhouse itself, and they asked this very interesting question, and I was like, okay, this is something very interesting. Like, how likely is it to find a whole new stream of biology with the speed at which we are going?
I will be not surprised is by seeing this, and technologies are advanced a lot. The things which used to take a couple of days, now it is become happening within minutes.
True.
That gives us more time to think and explore beyond and understand the nature more. The more we understand the nature, that also gives us insight that how the science should be. For example, if I see that humanoid or nanobots or some kind of like robots inside your body, which can detect all the biologicals, not only just objects, but also biological, sense the biology and correct it right away there in your body. It's very nano, and they can travel all through the organ, like the small molecules. That would be interesting, and I'm seeing that people are doing it, and they're in very naive stage. One thing which also fascinates me is the expansion microscopy. It's like you can make it organ big, and then you can image. It's the concept was got from the diaper of the baby, so how it soak the liquid and it expand without distorting the structure. Similarly, they have also found something very interesting, which is also shrink the entire object to without distorting the structure. So these are the couple of things which I am pretty much like looking forward futuristic research. That research from the Elon Musk team doing is a brain implantation. That's also very intriguing, like how that can be helpful understanding the brain and signalings. Yeah, these are the things which will come up next, I believe.
I also saw this one video. I guess that you might have also seen. That was by Neuralink only. They had trained a monkey like in a cyborg way. It was playing the game and it would get bananas as a reward. So interesting to see how different kind of technologies are making its way into understanding of biology. Also, when you said about nanobots, another such example was a nanobot which takes the drug and delivers it exactly at the point of administration. So interesting things that have come up with technology. Now, before we sign off on this segment, I would like to ask you something which is much more personal to the students of the country who are, going to pursue healthcare or the aspiring healthcare students. Now, you have taken an unusual path after pharmacy, something that I had never heard of before this gravitational biology. So, and you've become one of the most noteworthy people in it. So, what is one suggestion that you'd like to give to all the aspiring healthcare students in India who also want to make a career in something different, like not just the baseline 2-3 options that we have over here, but what they love, if they can turn it into their professions as well through pursuing something different. So what will be your suggestion, like in general?
I'm very small to advise anyone, but I'm really consider when you learn, you automatically, it's becoming, how to say this? This is something which is, I practice one thing is, if I heard something, I go back and I read about it. But one thing, why I read, because it is curiosity which I keep alive always. Being student, you have a lot of freedom to think and to think on things. Like you do not have to be fear. And first of all, when you observe nature, it actually gives you a lot of informations right away, how the animal is working, if you constantly watch a bird, before it fly, which part it move, where it bends the leg, and what the jerk it gives. So these type of observations, at the same time, curiosity to take it further. You observe something, you cannot stop there. Like you have observations, first you observe, be patiently observe nature, animal, human, vehicle, anything. Just there is nothing. If there is a wind blowing, you see that how the leaf is flipping out and why it is in that pattern. And this kind of observation, when you do, and then that curiosity, you formulate that curiosity, and then you studied what is the motion, why it is happening, then probably those things will lead you to a very vast knowledge center, where you will be always as a student. You cannot escape that student loop. Only thing which I really say is you observe and be curious, and observe in a very deep sense. Not only when two persons are communicating in a road. For a while, you just look what are their movements, whether they're happily talking, or something serious, something casual? What is their movements? These are the things which actually strikes me always when I walk or when I spend time in nature. I find these things are very interesting, and then I come back and do my small research. I try to write it out, and I if there is any caveat or something opportunity I see, there is something can be learned from that specific incident, then I write it down. And this is how I think your curious brain plays around.
Amazing. And that was really humble of you to say that you're very smart of it. Like for us, it's the knowledge, the amount of knowledge that you have is something which makes you noteworthy. And I got to learn so much from, the last 30, 45 minutes is that, everything that you said is basically, focus on getting deep knowledge on things, focus on being a student forever. And that's how anything in your life can be possible. That's a beautiful note to, end this session. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. I hope that you liked the questions and you love the time that you were here with us today. Thank you so much for sparing that time.